Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First verse of the Holy Quran. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ittaqullaha wa qulu qawlan sadida yuslih lakum a'malakum wa yaghfir lakum dhunubakum wa man yuti'ir rasula faqad faza fawzan 'azima. In the first verse of the Holy Quran, there are three things main just described for the believers. Whenever they talk and speak, it should be the truth, and they must avoid telling a lie. Whatever the right thing, they should be just addressed to the people. Obey Allah. And the second thing, Atiullah wa Atiur Rasul. Our success lies in the obedience to Allah and the Prophet. And whenever you speak, be just, even if it is a case of mere of a relative. So we have to speak the truth, whatever may be, and at the same time we have to follow the Prophet of Allah, whatever may happen. And what will be the reward is Allah will forgive us our sins, and Allah will give us the reward for that. So therefore, in the end of this verse of the Holy Quran tells us to obey Allah and the Prophet, and our success lies in it. We have the second verse of the Holy Quran, wherein in all the matter the Prophet of Allah is the best example for you to follow. The central idea, we have the obedience of the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We have to follow the way of the Holy Prophet in all the just ways of life, and our success lies in it. We want to be successful, obedience Allah and the Prophet. And it is repeatedly mentioned in the Holy Quran. We can give the reference of Atiullah wa Atiur Rasul, obey Allah and the Prophet. وَمَنْ يُطِيعِ الرَّسُولَ فَقَدْ أَطَاعَ اللَّهَ. Anyone who obeys the Prophet actually obeys Allah. We can give the example of it as well. Then we have the third verse of the Holy Quran, and hold fast all you together the cable of Allah. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Again we have the central idea of the unity of the Muslim brothers, that we must be together. The unity of the Muslim, it is must in all the field of life. And cable of Allah, it means the Holy Quran, that we have to follow the Holy Quran in this verse. So this word cable of Allah means to follow the Holy Quran, the teaching of the Holy Quran. Whatever the commanded Allah, we have to obey. Whenever Allah told not to do, we must avoid it, and our success lies in it. And we can see the different example of it, Surah Al-Ahzab and other, where just Allah gave us instruction regarding that. Wherever the Muslim they were together, they got the success. Wherever they have some division, so the help of Allah was not over there. Next, ayat number 4, we have Inna karamakum indallahi atqakum. And surely the most honorable is who has the piety and the pious. So once again we see that in this verse of the Holy Quran we have been told that the best one in the eyes of Allah, the person who has just piety in his heart, he the pious one. And the same thing Holy Prophet told in the hadith about the mankind, and told to follow it. And in Islam there are no other things to be close to Allah, only the one thing, that is the taqwa and the piety. We have to follow it. And Allah said in the Holy Quran, Inna Allah yuhibbul muttaqin. Allah loves those people who are pious. So we have to just have the piety for that. Next verse we have verse number 5, we have Inna fi khalqis samawati wal ard wa ikhtilafil layli wan nahar la ayatin li ulil albab. This verse of the Holy Quran just invite us to think in the creation of Allah, the heaven and the earth and so many other things. They have been created for those they are wise people, because whenever they would see these things, and their mind ultimately will go to the Creator and the Maker, and then after all they would come back towards Allah, and they would know that the existence of Allah. So these are the signs for those people Allah has given them mind to think. Next verse we have verse number 6, ayat number 6. لن تنالوا البر حتى تنفقوا مما تحبون. The central idea is spending in the way of Allah. That we have to spend in the way of Allah, then we can close to be Allah. So if we want to get the nearness of Allah, the best way to spend in the way of Allah, sadaqat, charity, zakat, and in our relatives. So whatever we have to give the just the right of the poor. We can give the example from the life of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Whenever there was some requirement, he appealed to the people for the donation. So Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, Hazrat Umar, Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala, and so many other people, they came forward, and whatever they could do, they contributed for the uplift and the promotion of Islam. Particularly at the time of jihad, whenever there was some appeal, the companions of Allah, they just provided whatever they had for that time. And next verse we have verse number 7, and it is وَمَا آتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. That whatever Prophet gives you, we should take it, and whatever he forbids, we should be avoided for that. Simply again there are just obedience of Allah and the Prophet. We have already studied whatever the Prophet had decided about anything, so it is also about the just booty distribution of that, and then generally it applies all on the Muslim, that whatever the command of the Prophet of Allah about something, we have to follow it. If the Prophet of Allah has told us not to do this thing, we must avoid it. And we can give the references from the previous verses of the Holy Quran as well. Atiullah wa atiur Rasul, obey Allah and the Prophet. And وَمَنْ يُطِعِ الرَّسُولَ فَقَدْ أَطَاعَ اللَّهَ. Anyone who obeys the Prophet actually obeys Allah. We can give reference of these verses. So then we have ayat number 8. Inna salata tanha anil fakhsha'i wal munkar. It is about the prayer, that salah keeps us away from the bad things and the vulgarity. First of all, we have to see the central idea, that is the observation of the salah 5 times. We have to give just introduction that 5 time prayers, the pillars of Islam. One of the pillars of Islam, that is salah. It is compulsory for each and everyone to obey the 5 times, to observe the salah. Then we have to write some benefits of salah, and one of them that we keep away from the bad things, stay away from the bad things as well, and the vulgarity and wickedness like that, and some other benefits we have to mention it. And we have also mentioned some verses of the Holy Quran. Aqimus Salat, it comes in the Holy Quran repeatedly, establish prayer. And some hadith we can give reference over there for this hadith. On the day of judgment, the first question will be regarding the salah, and after this hadith we can give the reference of the Holy Quran as well. So one reference will be enough. Then verse number 9 we have وَلَا تَكْسِبُ كُلُّ نَفْسٍ إِلَّا عَلَيْهَا. It is also anyone who will do anything, it will be upon them. Any person earns anything, but it is on his own account. No other people, they would get the responsibility for others. So simply this the central idea of this hadith, whatever we do in this world, we have to see in front of us. And there is the hadith, innamal a'malu binniyat. So our deeds, they depend upon our intentions, whatever we do. So if we are doing something wrong over here in this world, ultimately we would be responsible for that on the day of judgment. And then we can give the reference of Allah does not burden as a soul, beyond that it can bear. And the second verse we can give the reference of this verse as well. And simply we have to keep in our mind, whatever we are doing in this world, we would be answerable for that on the day of judgment. No other will come to answer for that. Then we have verse number 10, that is about justice and obligations. So surely Allah has commanded us justice in all the matters and doing good thing or obligations ihsan. So the central idea of this verse of the Holy Quran to do the justice and to good for others. So in our all matters in daily life, whatever the situation would be in front of us, we should do justice for us. Even there are our relatives or nearest one or the dearest one, but we have to observe justice everywhere. And it comes in the Holy Quran, Allah likes those people who show justice. And the second thing, ihsan, the good things. We have to give the favor to other people, we have to do the good thing for others. According to the hadith, the best people are those they give the profit to others. Khairun nas may yanfa'un nas, they are profitable to others. And at the same time, Allah said in the Holy Quran about the ihsan, inna Allah yuhibbul muhsinin. Allah like those people who do the good things. So we can come in the good books of Allah by doing the justice and ihsan, the both things. Next verse, verse number 11. It is about revelation of the Holy Quran, preservation of the Holy Quran. So this verse of the Holy Quran tells us central idea about the preservation of the Holy Quran. The Holy Quran is secure, and the security of the Holy Quran. Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafizun. Allah has just revealed this book, and Allah would be just responsible for the preservation of the Holy Quran. So the Holy Quran, that is safe forever. It is not like for other books. They were changed and amended with the passage of the time. It is not with the Holy Quran, because Allah has taken the responsibility of the Holy Quran to be secure, and it will remain secure as it is forever, and it will remain forever in the same way. The last verse of the Holy Quran we have about the Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyam, about the fasting, that it is a obligation for each and everyone. And first of all, we have to give the just introduction about the fasting, that it is one of the pillars of Islam, most important. It comes after one year for 1 month, and all the Muslims, they observe the fasting, those they are adult and wise people, they are just saying it is a compulsory for each and everyone to observe the fasting. And then we have to give the reference from the Holy Quran and the Hadith for that. And one of two benefits we have to mention of the just fasting, la'allakum tattaqun. The main purpose of the fasting has been mentioned in the Holy Quran, to get piety, to be pious. So by observing fasting, we can become pious in the eyes of Allah, and we can attain piety by observing fasting, because in the condition of the fasting, we always observe good things and we must avoid the bad things. It brings us near to Allah. So these are the verses of the Holy Quran. The most important thing while explaining the verses of the Holy Quran, to keep it in mind. The first thing, that whenever we see the translation of the Holy Quran, first of all we have to see that what is the main or central idea of the verse of the Holy Quran. Then we have to just explain it. Whatever the central idea, first we have to explain the central idea, then the other points easily. Notes of Islamiat, verses of the Holy Quran, class 11th. Class 11th notes Islamiat, Federal Board, Punjab Boards, verses of the Holy Quran, explanation of the verses of the Holy Quran. जी कुरान पाक की जो आयात को सबसे पहले तर्जुमा देखें, फिर देखें इनका सेंट्रल आइडिया क्या है. जो भी सेंट्रल आइडिया है, नमाज, रोज़ा, ज़कात, हज, 2-3 लाइनें उसके बारे में लिख के, उसके बाद जो कुछ आयत में बताया गया है 2-3 लाइनें उसकी तशरीह सिंपल सी कर दें. अगर कोई रेफरेंस फ्रॉम द हदीस एंड द होली कुरान इन योर माइंड है तो उसको भी बयान कर दें. ये उसका तरीक़ाकार है.